Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Javier Soto, evening anchor at ABC 15, joined by Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullins. And wow, right? We're
Right.
still feeling those effects from last
Yeah.
night.
Do you have a little bit of a monsoon hangover?
Oh, how could you
I think
not?
we all
How
do.
could you not? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody was talking about it today. To witness it, be part of it, and then just still be in wow. And as I mentioned to you just a short while ago, I spent the night just scrolling through my social media feeds and the
Yeah.
incredible videos out there that everybody that they were able to capture and then post. I mean, it really gives you a whole different dimension to this storm.
Yeah, the pictures were incredible. And of course, we need those because we're stuck in the
Yeah.
studio here trying to navigate and get everybody through the storm. And so when we get to see what's actually happening outside, that really helps us tell the story. But it was everything last night. I mean, so many people have been complaining that this monsoon hasn't been producing the storms that they
The
want. Yeah,
non-soon.
monsoon. Well, last night it showed up and it showed up in a huge way. We saw basically every monsoon threat in the valley yesterday, starting with that epic dust storm that came in.
At what point did you realize this is going to be a big one?
Well, I saw things building down in Pinal County and just the severe thunderstorm warnings going off down there, the dust alerts going off down there. I mean, forecast models earlier in the day did have it a little bit later for us, but once everything started brewing in Pinal County and I could track how quickly that was moving, it escalated fast. And that's when I came out and I was like, hey, everybody, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Let's move these people here. Like this is going to go down.
And it
But
really was a
yeah,
great call because if you just had like a camera inside the newsroom to see everybody just
start
jump
moving.
into action and a newsroom go crazy and start to position people and place people and get
Yeah.
people out the door and realize what we were up against. And at about what 4:30 we really started seeing the severity of this storm.
Yeah, and we have to get the chopper up a lot of times to give us the bird's eye view as what's happening because we'll get dust storm warnings down in Pinal County, but we can't locate where the dust storm is. We look for what's called outflow boundaries on the radar. So the radar is able to pick up winds that flow out of thunderstorms. But there is a little bit of a blind spot for those outflow boundaries when you're looking at the area across Pinal County that's far away from the Phoenix radar and far away from the Tucson radar. And so sometimes we can't see those outflow boundaries and identify exactly where the dust is until it's like right on our doorstep, until it's
Yeah.
moving into Sun Lakes, moving into Santan Valley. And by that time, it's too late to notify those folks. They already know that it's right there, but we can notify the rest of the valley. But thankfully, we kind of saw what was going down yesterday in Pinal County. We got the chopper up in time. We started looking at ADOT cameras, which are all up and down that I-10 corridor, and seeing that this was just a beast of a dust storm and that it was headed our way.
So let's talk about I guess the beast part of it, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys, as a meteorological team, you have gotten together and basically come up with a scale on how to measure these dust storms. Explain that.
Yeah, so it's been years in the making. It was led by Randy Cerveny at ASU, who asked me to be a part of it. But we have meteorologists from the Flood Control District, from the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. So all these different meteorologists that work in different fields of meteorology across the valley that all have an interest in providing information for their stakeholders or for the general public from a safety perspective, all have an interest in kind of developing a ranking system for these dust storms so that we're able to tell exactly how bad it was.
Hmm.
So, this has been years in the making. Conversations started like 5+ years ago. And it's tricky because there's a lot of different aspects of dust storms that you can look at. Should it be based on visibility? And then how would we measure that? Should it be based on winds? Should it be based on air quality? So basically, depending on the amount of data available, we know we have air quality monitors all across the valley that track dust concentrations. It was decided that that may be the best way to do this
Okay.
because the data's there. But there are some limitations there
As we
because,
just found
as
out.
we just found out, yesterday's dust storm, based on dust concentrations, would only be a category 2 on the scale of 1 to 5.
That's the one from yesterday.
The one from yesterday, the one
Uh,
from last night, would only be a 2 because the dust concentrations were on the lower to moderate side. Compare that to the July 5th, 2011, which everybody talks
It's the
about.
big
That
one.
dust storm, the dust was so dense. That was the Cat 5. That was the worst we had ever seen in the historical record. And visually, last night's dust storm looked very similar to that.
If not bigger.
Yeah, I mean, we had a dust wall that was thousands of feet in the air. It went right over South Mountain, right over Camelback Mountain
Yeah.
with ease and very quickly. And it also, based on what I saw on the radar, I was measuring the distance of the outflow boundary, and it's unclear as to whether the dust covered the entirety of the outflow boundary or just a portion of it. But that boundary itself was about 40 miles wide.
Okay.
So if dust was covering that whole thing, then you were talking about a 40-mile wide dust storm that was at least 4 to 5,000 feet tall. That is the magnitude of what that July 5th storm was.
Now,
But
the
because of
difference,
the dust concentrations, the difference.
yeah, the
Yeah.
difference in this one was it was immediately followed by a rain event.
Yes, and that was huge because then you only have to deal with that dust lingering in the air for a short amount of time. The rain was right behind it, and that helped wash a lot of the dust out of the air.
And I think I mentioned this to you yesterday. So I have a bunch of family in Casa Grande.
Yeah.
I started getting pictures, and you knew it was a big storm just because the way it was developing.
Yeah.
And I said, they said, now it's raining, and it's raining mud.
Yeah. And we
Because
saw that.
it
Yeah, we saw
takes that rain and it
Yeah.
just soaks it.
I mean, we saw that with our crews out in the field. I mean, some of these folks were out there wearing like goggles to keep the mud and dust out of their eyes. And that's what you got to do because we talked about this a lot yesterday about the dust and the harmfulness if for you, for your health, both short term and long term, if you breathe in the dust.
Valley fever is
Yeah, valley
what comes
fever
to
is the
mind.
long term thing,
Yeah.
right? That can make you sick for months. But in the short term, you also have like itchy throat, watery eyes. You could see asthma attacks happen with more frequency, bronchitis being aggravated. So there's a lot of health impacts to breathing in the dust. And I don't know about you, I was just outside this morning trying to clean up the yard
Yeah.
and washing the car, and I could still like smell it and breathe. I was breathing some of it in, and already I can feel like a little scratchiness. So if that's what you're experiencing today, it's probably the dust.
It's from the dust,
Yeah.
absolutely. And what was amazing about yesterday, and one of the things you just mentioned, was the way it just gobbled up South Mountain. And usually, we've seen dust storms get to
Kind
that
of fall
point and kind of
apart.
fall apart.
Yeah, and it came over with ease. This thing was just a monster.
Were you
Yeah.
guys able to measure how quickly it was moving?
We were not able to measure how quickly it was moving in the moment. That will be have to be something we go back and look at, maybe based on the radar and where that outflow is. But I know just anecdotally, when we were covering it together yesterday, we took an ADOT camera shot and we could see about a mile out. Do you remember this? We could see about a mile out, and it was less than 5 seconds later, and it went to
Gone.
zero visibility.
And
It was booking it.
yeah, and that's what people talked about, how it just moved so quickly and how it literally just blocked out all the sun and everything went dark as if it were nighttime.
As if it were nighttime. Yeah, and then the rain came in and then washed it all out. Yeah, it was quite an event yesterday. I do want to say wind wise, we did get gusty winds, and because the dust storm came through and the severe thunderstorms followed so quickly after, at this point it's hard to say were the 70-mile-per-hour gust we experienced at Sky Harbor associated with the dust storm. We know they were associated with the severe thunderstorm, but were winds that strong with the dust storm? I don't think we know that yet, but there were damaging winds. We saw trees go down. We saw damage at the airport. I mean, the whole night was just destructive.
And I think for us on air, the highlight was our Ashley Holden. I mean, she
Yeah.
was right at the airport and experiencing it. And, the difficulties that she was up against. I mean, poor girl. And really, she's the hero of the night for
I
us
know.
because she got right in the middle of it. And, she kept saying, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Because it's deafening.
Yeah.
You got that wind blowing right through you. The rain was pelting her from sideways. She could barely see. She said with that rain, there was dust in there and dirt particles.
Yeah.
And so she was having a difficult time, but she was doing the best
She was
could to
stopping
report.
wet.
Lord.
Her hat was flying off. Poor thing. But she was a trooper out there covering it. And of course, once got really bad, she was able to go, I think, in the middle of a parking structure. So she at least had some kind of a
Some kind of
roof
cover.
on top of her. Yeah, because we always advocate for safety with our crews. Of course,
Mhm.
it's our job to tell you the story and to show you what's going on, but we need to make sure that our people are staying safe too. So that was something we were really driving home yesterday with the crews out in the field, and especially those in the dust storm. The safety tips of pull aside, stay alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in hearing from some people who were posting different videos and saying that they experienced that while they were driving, and one lady, and I'm trying to track her down. I don't want to put her on blast right
That's
here,
fine.
but
Yeah.
I'm sending you messages
Okay.
because we would love to speak with her. Um, she said it was the scariest experience of her life because literally, I mean, we've talked about this. Like once your windshield goes black, I
Yeah.
mean, you can't see in front of
Can't
you,
see
and
anything.
there's like near zero visibility.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where you're going. And that's the whole reason to pull aside, stay alive, because
Yeah.
really, if you don't know where you're going, the person in front of you doesn't know where they're going, the person behind you doesn't know where they're going. And so the safest thing is to not be on the road.
Absolutely. And we have different kinds of dust events here. Sometimes there's dust channeling where dust picks up and just goes across the street or across the highway and it happens in an instant. And so you can't see it coming. But yesterday's massive dust storm, we could all see that coming.
Yeah.
So that's when you need to pull over ahead of time and not wait until it's right over you and you can't see anything.
One thing, our Lillian Donahue last night when she came back, and she was talking about experiencing it, and she loves being the storm chaser for
Yeah,
us,
she
and she loves
does.
being out and
Yeah.
about. But she said at one point it really got scary
Yeah.
because those winds are blowing, and the windshield wipers can't work fast enough,
They can't. Yeah.
and they're trying to keep up. And she just talked about how scary it was, and so you're hearing that straight across the board. If you can heed those warnings, not be out and about, and the reason we go out into it is so that you don't have to.
Yeah. And the good thing about Arizona is our storms don't last long.
Mhm.
So it's not like you have to put your entire life on hold. I mean, monsoon storms last a couple hours at the most and then it turns into a light rain. You're all right. Like just hold on. You don't have to make that grocery store run right this moment, right? Like
and
just
and
just wait.
we saw people
Yeah.
caught in that yesterday. They
I
were headed to
know.
Target and they're running out like, what's
And
going
that's the
on?
scariest
Just
thing. You go into the grocery store and you look around and everything looks fine to you and you come out and it's
you're like,
that.
whoa.
You're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what just happened here?
One thing that we also covered were the power outages. I mean, there were tens of
Yeah.
thousands yesterday, and we really watched the storm as it moved through, and the SRP outage map just lit up like a Christmas
I
tree.
know. Yeah. And sometimes it takes hours for those to get restored because the crews have to wait till the storms clear out too. They can't go out there in the middle of a lightning storm.
Yeah.
So, the best thing to do is we were saying this yesterday, don't open your refrigerator or freezer, try to preserve that cool air, wait it out. If there's any downed power poles in your area, you got to stay at least 30 to 40 feet away from those because
Mhm.
they do have that electricity, that current still running through them. So it's really not safe to approach those. So call 911. So those are some of the other safety tips during any monsoon storm that you need to keep in mind.
Yeah, because really they're unpredictable once they hit.
Yeah, and a lot of trees went down too. I do want to say there has been some research that shows when we have extended periods of drought and our trees are dry and brittle, that when these big storms come in, they break more easily. And so we do see a lot of trees down, and we've seen that with the last couple of storms that have moved in, where whole streets have 40, 50 trees down blocking the street after the storm.
And we saw that today. Okay, so this one we'll be talking about for a long
Yeah, we
time.
will.
What can we
Yeah.
expect tonight?
I mean, there's a slight chance tonight. I don't think we're going to see anything tonight like we saw last night.
Let's hope
Yeah.
not.
There is a very slight chance, and I'm thinking more like in the overnight hours, just a little bit. And then there might be some chances again by Labor Day,
Mhm.
and possibly toward the middle of next week. But we are now headed into an extended drier period because this monsoon ridge of high pressure, which kind of dictates when the moisture flows in, is shifting back to the west over Arizona. And when that happens, happens and it's not slightly to the east, it actually cuts off the moisture flow. We want it slightly to the east. Up near the Four Corners is great. Over New Mexico, great, because the flow around that will bring in the moisture. But once it centers up over Arizona, now we're blocking the moisture from coming in and we're cranking up the heat with the sinking air from that ridge of high pressure. So it's going to get hotter
Uh,
this weekend, dry, maybe 108, 109 Saturday and Sunday before we bring in the slight chances for more storms next week.
but this 97 was so nice.
Yeah, the 90s. It was significantly more humid out
It
there
was.
today, though.
It
So
was.
that's the other piece of this. You know, Arizona is known for having a dry heat because typically our humidity values and our dew point values are relatively low. And so you look at what the temperature is and it actually feels cooler.
Mhm.
But today was one of those opposite days. We had dew points in the 60s, mid 60s much of the day. So it was muggy
Well, I know from a science perspective, you'll be dissecting this one for a
for a
long
long
time, for a
time.
long time to
Yeah.
come. Great work, and
You
we
too.
thank
Thank
you for
you.
the amazing work you did yesterday. And really, at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that everybody's safe and
Yeah.
put that warning out there.
Yeah, that's the point of all this. That's why we go on early. That's why we stay on as long as we do, as long as there's a public safety threat. We're going to stay on to try to keep everybody safe.
All right. Be
Yeah.
safe, Arizona.